particularly with regard to the recent incidents surrounding the rotation and resupply mission in Ayungin Shoal on 09 to 11 November 2023. We are happy to report that the resupply mission was a success, despite the continued dangerous blocking maneuvers and harassments by China Coast Guard and Chinese maritime militias, and there were several operational enhancements or improvements that were made by the AFP and the Philippine Coast Guard that were suggested by the esteemed members of this special committee during our last meeting with the STWPS on 07 November 2023. Such operational enhancements to the ROR mission initially disoriented Chinese response. Details of these will be reported to you shortly by the military law enforcement working group of the NTF-WPS through the AFP Western Command. We would also like to apprise this special committee that in response to the said incident, the Department of Foreign Affairs has demarched the Chinese Foreign Ministry and protested these actions of China. The DFA also reached out to the embassy and conveyed our protest directly through the maritime communications mechanism. In addition, we would like to inform this committee that several countries have condemned the unlawful and dangerous conduct of Chinese vessels in Philippine waters, while at the same time express support for the Philippines. These are Australia, the European Union, France, Japan, New Zealand, Timor-Leste, and the United States. We would like to emphasize that all have called on China to observe peace and stability and to follow a rules-based order in the WPS in accordance with the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. Most have also urged China to follow the 2016 arbitral ruling. Mr. Chair, members of this committee, the NTF-WPS remains steadfast in protecting our sovereignty, sovereign rights, and jurisdiction in the WPS. We certainly consider this recent incident a very serious concern, and we are one with you in exploring workable solutions while maintaining peace and security in the WPS. Again, thank you for this opportunity. Maraming salamat po.
Will there be someone else from the National Task Force? I'd like to address the committee.
Sir, as I mentioned,
so wala na message. Before we proceed, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our Vice Chair from the Congressman from the First District of Oriental Mindoro, the Honorable Arnan Panaligan.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, good morning to members, colleagues, and our resource persons. Sinabi nga ni Chair kanina, medyo nadadala sa meeting na, it wouldn't mean that in every incident that we have, kailangan natin ng briefing. I mean, this is basically an executive matter that has to be discussed. The Special Committee on the West Philippine Sea is here to provide some policy direction on how we are going to deal with the dispute over the West Philippine Sea. But in so far as the national policy is concerned, we are all in agreement that we will abide by the rule, especially on the UNCLOS and the arbitral award. We have been confronted with the military capability of each of the parties concerned, and it's speaking of the obvious that we are less militarily capable than the Chinese. With that situation at hand, what would the committee or the West Philippine Sea Task Force recommend on how to way forward on dealing with this, considering that there appears to be a more massive deployment of Chinese militia vessels in the area. And we can very well anticipate further incident. Tatawag na naman tayo ng meeting, we will be briefed, but sana ba tayo talaga pupunta with your guidance? And can you guide this committee also? Thank you very much.
Here, first of all, we appreciate this regular conduct of our meetings with the Congress and the National Task Force because this is an opportunity actually for us to really send out our sentiments about the need for us to capacitate ourselves in the area. And we bring forward actually this developing this capacity so that we develop our credible defense posturing, you know, and our support to the government in the area. And I mean, what I mean actually is the resource that we can produce it from Congress and we need to understand.
We just acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Minority Leader, Representative of the Teachers Party is Honorable Francis Castro. Any other comment by the members or the responsible?
Yeah, thank you for that very candid response. That indeed, this meeting, the intention of the task force is to solicit probably some financial addition for the strengthening of the forces within the area. For our part, we will take note of that and in the budget deliberations, probably this would insist on something more complete, but probably we can ask from the task force a complete proposal, a written complete proposal on what is it that you need vis-a-vis the financial constraint that we have, so that we can formally forward the matter to the Committee on Appropriations and probably to the rest of the membership of Congress. Thank you. Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Chair, and the members of the committee, and to our resource person. So, yung nangyayari kasi ng mga incidents, it occurs nung merong mga resupply vision, am I right, Mr. Chair? And kita naman natin na outnumbered yung ating mga pinapadala ng mga vessels or assets. I read in the news kagabi, last night, that in Julian Philippine Reef, no, parang record na yung mga vessels ng yung Chinese maritime militia, no, 100, 200, whatever. And in contrast, the vessels that we can deploy in given time, especially during our resupply mission, are very limited, no. So we should agree on task force as a matter of strategy na dagdagan natin ang mga vessels natin na mapapadala, redeploy during the supply mission. I understand kung a few weeks ago when the collision event occurred, dalawang vessel ang mga ng present at saka yung dalawang daily contracted intelligence boat. So 4 vessels only against several thousand vessels. Is it possible for us to deploy additional vessels whenever we undertake role mission sa ayunisyon? Kasi parang numbers ng ito, number 3, may paramihan ng assets, and of course, talo tayo. So, would it, yan, para mabawas yung harassment or we can withstand yung harassment if we have more assets to be deployed during our role mission?
Mr. Chair, good morning. Sir, with your due respect, sir, we will be having answered for that, sir, to include, sir, our way forward on some of our recommendations, again, provided during the executive session, sir. Some of this will have impact on our operational matters. Thank you, sir.
I understand, Sir Chair, maybe you will be disclosing a matter that is sensitive. So I understand that. Pero it's with the point ito, I want to bring this up. I noticed in your raw emissions, no? Particularly during the time that there was a collision or an incident a few weeks ago. The vessels that the Navy contracted with indigenous boats, no? Is it possible for us to contract a bigger vessel, for example, steel hull, para mag-start naman yung mga ramming na yan, no? Instead of hiring yung ibang tao sa ganang passing boat is wooden hull vessels, ano? Parang nung araw, ang tawag sa amin niya, sinidor yung patel, di ba? Ako yun. Before the amin ko sa Roro, yun ang mga boat sa amin eh. Sa Mindoro, no? Parang patel. So, is it possible for us to hire still have vessels para naman hindi pa nag-depreciate ang ating mga pinamatalon for supply missions?
Sir, that's like what Gerald Reyes stated, sir. We will basically answer in detail all these questions. But generally, sir, what we are doing, it is already given that we cannot match number by number the available resources of China in the area. But if we build all the Philippine Navy and Coast Guard still, we will still be but what we are doing, sir, is trying to present a different menu of response to the Chinese in doing our role, so that it will complicate matters for the Chinese, and that would give us a greater chance of success to accomplish our role. All your recommendations, sir, like what you guys stated, are all being considered, sir. Everything is on the table, sir. We just trying to mix and match all of these resources, all of these responses, sir. Para hindi lang yung puro role na yun dati, sir, na unay sa May 1 and 2. If you would notice, sir, during the last roar, one of the reasons for its success is we use a much faster vessel, which the Chinese, I think, were a bit surprised, because before they knew how the Liza may run very slow moving, but when we use a LDU owned vessel, which is much faster than the Liza May, so they were unable to pacific. So that is what we are doing, and trying to present a more complex response to during our raw mission, in order for us to have a greater probability of success. So everything, sir, all the options are in the table.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Maybe we can resort to more creative or innovative approaches in building our vessels there, in performing our mission and other security missions. I think this is the result. We did not much the number of Chinese vessels, no? Because that is impossible to do. But of course, we have to aspire for the build-up of a more credible force for the Navy and the Coast Guard. It will, of course, take time. No? You know that it can be done overnight or in months or years. And it is the result of our long years of, shall we say, inaction in modernizing our Navy and Coast Guard and the armed forces in general. It will take time, of course. This Congress in the past has done its share, but of course, because of our present economic problems, the national government cannot really fast track the modernization of the Navy and Coast Guard. But we support we recognize the need to facilitate, to fast track the modernization of our sea forces. That's our support on that matter. But in the meantime, we will have to resort to other means. No? I agree there is a way for that.